Here with reaction, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. Mr. Speaker, great to have you. Let's get your reaction. 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I say it all the time. I've been there in my early adult years. It's not a fun place to be. 60%. That is a lot of people.
Well, I mean, it tells you how much Biden's policies and Bidenomics have just plain failed. This is not complicated. Go and stand outside any grocery store and ask people if things are dramatically more expensive than 4 or 5 years ago. In the near future, go and stand outside any gas station and ask the same question. Look at what's happening to young people. In fact, Joe Biden has suffered his biggest loss of support from people under 30. Why? Because they're finding out they can't get a decent job, they can't afford a car, they can't afford a house. They're being forced in some cases to live with their parents. In other cases, you're getting 6 or 7 people jointly trying to buy something together. The Biden system simply doesn't work. And it doesn't work on the border. It doesn't work in the economy. It doesn't work in foreign policy. It doesn't work in dealing with drugs. And I think this is a genuine, deep crisis. And I don't care how many ads they buy this year, the Biden people are not going to be able to convince the average American that their life is better under Joe Biden.
So we have jacked up Joe at his State of the Union, you know, screaming at the country, racing through his speech. He wouldn't even allow the speaker time to officially introduce him to the joint session in the House. I thought he'd get a bump from that. Just the opposite happened. As I look at the Harris poll that came out post State of the Union, he went down in his approval rating. He went, you know, the distance between him and Trump got greater. What are the factors behind that?
Look, I think that speech was not designed for the average American. If they had a reason for doing that speech, it was, one, to prove he could actually talk for an hour and 15 minutes without collapsing, and they succeeded, and two, to reach out to his left. Remember, all the Democrats who were jumping up yelling 4 more years. They really wanted to seal off all this conversation about dumping Joe Biden. But that speech was against about 70% of the American people, and they know it. A point that Victor Davis Hanson made brilliantly, that if you watch Biden's speech style, he gets really angry when he talks about Americans. He's really angry if you're a conservative. He's really angry if you're a fundamentalist Christian. He's really angry if you're a Republican. But now if you're the Houthis, or you're Hamas, or you're Iran, or you're the Russians, or you're the Chinese communists, well, he's not all that angry. And I think it really tells you the underlying dynamic of the American left, that it basically deeply dislikes America and deeply wants to profoundly change us, which is why they're bringing in so many million illegal immigrants.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks like the Red Bull, caffeine, or whatever the heck he was drinking, eating, or taking that day, it's worn off because he didn't have a particularly good weekend, cognitively speaking. Speaker Gingrich, great to have you. Thank you.